Hey, what's up, everybody? Paul here with another episode of WESPN. And of course, I'm with my brother, Scott. How are you, Scott?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
Good, good. This episode, we're diving into Windsor-Essex real estate updates, of course. That'll include listing inventory trends, the big debate on interest rates, always a hot topic, LaSalle's massive development plans, Windsor's housing challenges, and the recent spike in development charges. So we got a jam-packed episode here, but first things first, we're recording live from Willistead. And this place, I know this is not your first time here. This place is pretty special.
It's incredible work done here. The staging is impeccable. The renovations, also impeccable.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic listing, fantastic location.
I mean, in the heart of old Walkerville, and just what the seller has done here is nothing short of amazing. I mean, every single inch of this place is well thought out. I was even checking out the bathroom over there with the Gucci wallpaper. Even like the light plate is wallpapered to match the other wallpaper. So it's truly a house that we've been listed for a couple weeks now. If you're interested in this home and coming to see it, I mean, we would just love to show it to you because it's truly a home that you have to come into and experience to get it. I mean, it's pretty special.
For sure. And it's in a location that cannot be replicated or duplicated.
Yeah.
You can't recreate this.
Old Walkerville, the best walk score in all of Essex County, in my opinion. This is where people are living right now. This is where people are playing too. And it's a neighborhood that I grew up in myself, and I have seen it change so much throughout the years. And I think Old Walkerville has never been better than today, to be honest. And that's because of that live and play factor to it. So 2035 Willistead, if you're interested in seeing this property, you got to come through. It's an absolute honor to show this place. So just reach out. We're now listed at 1.499, and in my opinion, it has extreme value here. You got to come and see it though to really, really, really experience it. So, having said that, little Willistead plug there. We're going to start with listing stats and just touching real quick on the listing side inventory that's out there. And as you know, we pull these numbers and they kind of indicate whether it's a good time to list, a good time to buy. Listings right now, as of November 18th, are at $799, and they haven't been that low since well before August. So as expected, the inventory starting to come down. I mean, you just had the Christmas music on. Tis the season. Tis the season. So what do you take from all that? What are you feeling out there? What are you seeing out there?
Yeah, same deal. I mean, it's not the ideal to be listed on the market right now. Not that it's the end of the world. You can still get it done in some situations, but the number of buyers focused on real estate now, between now and January 1st with all the holidays, is at its lowest for the season typically.
Yep.
This happens every year. It's happened the past 3 years. We anticipated the same thing this year, and we're getting it. So I think it's just focus and attention. I think the buyers are still out there. We're getting a lot of showings.
Yep.
Just people they don't have a gun to their head to pull the trigger. Yep. We're anticipating rate cuts. Why buy now when rates might be lower? So there's a lot of factors at play, but the big one is seasonality, in my opinion.
Seasonality. I mean, the conversations that I'm having right now are we're still in November, depending on the situation, of course. I don't mind, on certain listings trying it, but I'm really setting the tone saying, listen, if we're not finding success here, we're probably going to pull, let it rest, and then reintroduce in mid-January. But having said that, like you said, the buyers are still out there. Like, we are getting a lot of showings. I had a listing a couple weeks ago and I've never seen this before, Scott, and I wanted to share this. We had 9 offers on it. Actually, I think you were one of the offers.
I was indeed, yes.
And I've never had 9 offers on a property, and they were all conditional. I found it so interesting, and because it was so rare, we ended up accepting an offer. Actually had a house to sell on it, but it was a good offer. And the reason we took the house to sell offer was because we felt pretty confident that with 8 other offers, somebody else would come to the table and bump that offer and put some pressure on them, or we would sell to this new offer. And that's exactly what happened. The person who the original offer was accepted with they did not get the property. They got bumped, did not remove, and off we go to the next person.
Well, I actually told my clients when we were putting the offer in that, hey, they've got 9 offers here. There's a high probability that at least one of them is going to be unconditional.
Yeah.
And the fact that one of them wasn't is very rare. I've never had that happen either.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hit 9 offers, typically, 1 to 3 at least is unconditional. So
Absolutely.
But that's a sign of the times, right? That wouldn't have happened in April, May, June, July, maybe even August, September even.
Yeah.
So that's again pointing back to seasonality.
And again, with the active number of listings today at 799, peaked on this list of September 26th, we had 925 active listings. So that's down 126 listings right there. Again, when we're tracking this week by week, I'm interested to see what that number becomes at the end of December. It's typically pretty low.
Yeah, we'll have low inventory, but also even lower buyers. That might not be people looking. Like there's a lot of people looking, but the actual people willing to pull the trigger becomes at its lowest as well. So it kind of offsets the lower inventory. And then, as always, we start to pick up early in the new year, late January, early February. You've always been saying it. That's our typical spring market for Windsor. We anticipate more of the same.
Very predictable this year.
Yeah,
even
I think
when
so.
we said we see a little blip in October, if you go on the October stats, we saw a blip in October. So it's becoming this year's becoming a very predictable market. The unpredictability to me becomes in January, February. If the market does what we feel it will do, well, then the comparables that are out there will become unpredictable because the sell prices are going to rise so quick to set the new comparables for 2025. So I'm interested to see if that happens. If that happens, well, we're in for quite a 2025.
Yeah, it's almost inevitable. I've got a listing up right now. We've had 35 showings. It's only generated 2 offers on the 35 showings. Typically, that would be a much higher percentage, probably somewhere between 5 and 10 offers would be generated with that many showings. So that to me tells me that people are out there, they're shopping, they're taking their time, they're not urged to buy something. But what typically happens in real estate or in any market, whether it's stocks, Bitcoin, whatever, when everybody else starts to want something, then you start to see the offers come in and those 30 showings turn into 10 offers, and now you're competing. So if you are a buyer watching this, I'm going to say it, I've been saying it for weeks now, you want to be shopping right now. It might be your best opportunity to not compete or have minimal competition. And why wait for the mad rush when you don't have to?
I agree. So, again, Bitcoin hot right now.
Big time.
Bitcoin's hot right now. All right, interest rates. Got to talk about them. It's a hot button topic. It's not the sexiest topic in the world talking about interest rates, but absolutely. But it's there. So what's obviously some news came out this week. Inflation 2%. What's it all mean?
Yeah, so inflation ticked back up from 1.6 to 2%, which is putting some water on the rate cut fire, right? They might, did I say that right? I don't know. But there was a lot of talk about another half-point rate cut. December 11th is the next announcement. There was a high percentage chance of a half-point rate cut. Now a lot of people are saying, well, it might only be a quarter point. The Bank of Canada is still trying to find a neutral rate. In my opinion, we are still too high. In my opinion, we need a half-point rate cut, not just for the housing market, but also for the whole Canadian economy. Yep. But we also are trying to tame inflation and keep that low at the same time. So that's the tricky part with the Bank of Canada. Regardless of what happens on December 11th, I still think we are in a rate cut environment here for the next 12 to 18 months at least, until the Bank of Canada can find a neutral rate that isn't inflationary beyond 2%, and which also isn't hindering our economy like it is now and the housing market. So there's going to be a little bit of playing in there, but we're going to find that rate eventually. And what's interesting, a lot of people are making a big deal out of this 2%, but that's actually the Bank of Canada's target rate. It's 2% inflation, and we're at that rate. And a big percentage of that 2% inflation is still housing and rents, mortgage payments and rent payments, so which are also influenced by high interest rates, right? If rates come down, those payments become easier. Inflation technically comes down. So it's a tough environment, but we'll see what happens on December 11th. Do you have any predictions if you had to guess?
Do you, what's CIBC's chief economist name that we've seen speak before?
Benjamin Tao.
Benjamin Tao. So I was at a conference a couple weeks ago, and he was speaking, and his prediction was, the first half of 2025 is going to kind of feel like the last half of 2024. And then the second half is when you're going to really see some gas to the market. But he's predicting a strong 2026 as opposed to a strong 2025, but with a late 2025 gain. I mean, they're all pushing for, if you hear him talk, and I love hearing him talk. If you ever get a chance to hear him talk, it's great. They're pushing pretty hard for these rate cuts. They're confident that the bank has done their job, the Bank of Canada, and let's get these things back down so we can get the economy back going. But he also makes a good point. High inflation is worse than high interest rates. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's down significantly, and we're right around that 2% target rate. So I do believe they will continue to come down. At what pace, that remains to be seen.
This feels like mission accomplished. Let's get the
economy back and rolling, right? So that's the plan here. We think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
We shall see. Some other big news here. We've got LaSalle's plan to double its population over the next 15 to 25 years.
Clickbait, or you read you read that,
yeah.
It's like, oh my God, double the population.
Yeah, there are town council meetings about this. Yeah. They have, LaSalle has a ton of land, right? It's a lot of farmland, a lot of vacant land. So they're opening up about 1,000 hectares of land, which is about 2,500 acres. That's it's unfathomable. And the current population of LaSalle, I think, is around 20,000. So we're looking to double that to about 40,000. So LaSalle is one of those popular places to be, arguably, in the country in terms of safety, the great schools. It's a beautiful area, trees everywhere, waterfront close by as well. We got the LaSalle waterfront development. So this is very exciting news.
Another big investment they got a ton of big municipal projects going on there. So.
But if you're a developer and if you're looking to build housing and try to add some stock here, you want to pay attention to this. They're talking about kind of blanket zoning and making it really easy for developers to come in and have a clear idea of what can be built where, mixed use development, commercial, and pure residential. So developers might want to pay attention to this and be on the ball for any opportunities in the area. And Canada's going to have a growing population for decades to come, right? Obviously, they're slowing that pace right now because they overdid it, but they still got to grow the population here. So immigration is still going to be a big factor over the next 20, 25 years. I think Canada's goal is still to reach 100 million, become part of that century club as a country. That's over 50 years or whatever, but still, you can bank on that. So very interesting development, and we will continue to pay attention to the news there.
Again, LaSalle, just already a super desirable place to live. It's not like we're doing this in a brand new area with urban growth. You're doing it in already one of the best areas in Essex County. Pretty big news there.
This is actually land abutting Windsor, right? It starts from where Windsor ends, and it tails off into LaSalle. So it's a very interesting location as well.
As a Tecumseh resident, my main concern is the acceleration of their hockey and baseball teams, because more people there, bigger pool of kids, and it might be a problem for us.
Big time. They're going to have
Tecumseh Rangers and Tecumseh Eagles might have a problem with LaSalle.
Too bad we're landlocked in Tecumseh.
We are landlocked. No, but what's in Tecumseh like? What are the opportunities to build and do something like this in Tecumseh? Because I always compare LaSalle to Tecumseh, Amherstburg to Lakeshore. The values kind of mirror each other as well. Why can't we do this in Tecumseh?
I don't know. We don't have the land that they do that I'm aware of. It could come down, I know Lakeshore is struggling with sewer capacity and other type of things. When Tecumseh's upgrading its pumping stations, we've had a lot of flooding issues. It's a high water table in the area. There's a lot of factors that might be at play here. I don't know. I don't think we have as much land as LaSalle does. So
for sure,
that could be it. Yeah. But we got to get that population going, because Tecumseh is one of the most popular places to be as well, and just can't find anything new right now. So
I agree.
Some other interesting stuff here. We kind of broke down some home building stats for Windsor. We want to kind of explain why we're in such a housing crisis. Since 2018, Windsor's population has grown. This is Windsor proper, by about 20,000 people. And since 2018, we've had 3,500 housing starts. Now that includes rental properties as well as single-family homes, semi-detached. It all lumps into housing starts. Now, if you have a 20,000 population growth, the average number of people per household is 2.5. That means we should have built about 7,700 homes. We only built 3,500. That's half of what we should have built. That's why you have a lot of people still living at home right now. A lot of that previous generation living in their parents' basement or whatever the case is. And that's why affordability has become so unattainable. Now, in the light of all this, November 2024, so just a couple weeks ago, Windsor raised its development charges by about 15%. So we always wonder, well, why is nobody building? And there's a couple factors. The development charges are out of control, number one. And number two, the interest rates are hindering developers' ability to build profitably. So with all those things, we are continuing to fall further behind on the residential real estate side. So if you're looking long term as a real estate holder, whether just a regular owner of a home or if you're an investor that is buying property or owns some rental properties, I think the future is still very, very bright for Canadian real estate because of this. This is happening all across the country.
Yep.
And that shortage is not being cleaned up anytime soon.
And what sparked this topic was Housing Start Rankings 2018 to 2024, 100 Canadian communities with populations over 200,000. That's us. We ranked number 88 out of those 100 with 3,493 new housing starts since 2018.
6 years. Yeah.
In 6 years, where a top community is around 22,000. Toronto's at 133,000. Obviously, these rankings affect or have the population factored in there as well. Nonetheless, we're number 88 on that list. Be nice to get mid-pack there. We're not looking to be number one, but we're looking to be mid-pack. But our next topic is going to hinder that as well, right? Because developmental charges are spiking in Windsor.
Yeah, up another 15%. It's already, in a lot of cases, economically unviable to build either rental units or resale right now because resale prices are down. So if you can't make a profit, you're not going to build. And then to build rental properties, the cost is so high and the development charges are so high, you can't make a profit if you're an investor. So you're not building as much as we should be. So with all those factors, we're just kind of perpetuating the same problem, which is also why they need to cut rates because they need to spur development.
Yep.
So it's quite the mess Canada's gotten itself into. We're starting to, the pendulum's starting to swing the other way. They're going to lower the population a little bit over the next little bit, but the long term is still very bright. We're still years behind development, and it's a great place to own real estate long term. Still, in my humble opinion.
So, and again, just to get a grasp of what these developmental charges, give me some examples of some developmental charges when you're building, let's call it single family res.
Yeah, so I think the fee here for home, single detached homes went up from 43,000 to 50,000 approximately per unit. So if you're building 6 units, times that by 6, right?
Yeah.
50,000 times 6. Like it's burdensome. It's back-breaking charges that make projects not viable. Now, obviously, the city has reasons for doing this. They need to maintain sewer capacity and other infrastructure to go along with it, but 15% jumps when inflation's 2% and rent is growing lower than that. You can see why projects aren't getting off the ground.
So when there's a 15.2% jump, or whatever that is, going from 43 to 49 on single family, that is we're not just taking these charges. I mean, that goes unfortunately down to the end user, which makes new construction even more expensive. And right now, the problem with new construction is that it's so expensive that it's not showing significant gains because it's too expensive for people to buy and there's too many options in the resale market. So until you see frustration in the resale market, multiple offers, people losing offers, the resale market gaining steam and gaining in value and catching up to new builds is only when you will see new home construction take off.
Which we need interest rate cuts to get to that point, which I think we're going to get.
And we're heading there.
Yeah.
Wow. What a great little episode there. I like it. So again, from LaSalle's ambitious plans to Windsor's housing crunch and recent development charge hikes, it's clear that the Windsor-Essex real estate market is at a pivotal moment. I ChatGPT'd that, and I didn't like how that came out. So, to break it down,
very unnatural.
Yeah, to break down these topics. I mean, the inventory's coming down. Okay, we've covered that. 2035 Willistead, an absolute stud of a listing. If you want to come see it, let us know. We'd love to show it to you. No, next topic was the interest rate. So December 11th, we'll see what happens with the interest rates. LaSalle's big plan. That was my favorite topic of the day. Other than 2035 Willistead, LaSalle's ambitious plan to double their population. I think it's fantastic. Of course, my main concern is my kids' sports and LaSalle Titans and the LaSalle.
One of the great rivalries.
Yes, absolutely. And then we dipped into the Windsor housing shortage and, of course, the developmental charges that are spiking in Windsor. Now, if you found this information valuable, thank you so much for listening. Send it to a friend. Keep watching, and we really appreciate your time.
Is that ChatGPT as well?
That's not chat. That was real. Thanks.